I'm looking for Kaiki to determine if she is ESFJ, as I think, or possibly ISFJ. I would hope. I'm hoping that maybe she'll feel like being cooperative here a little bit.
You're
Because
so hard to hear, Eric.
what's that?
I can hardly hear you.
Okay,
Something
right.
happened to the audio.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Oh, me too.
I spoke up. Whoa. We got moved to a corner too. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, there's just
Yeah.
an echo now.
Yeah, there is an echo. Who's that from? That's from the raw room, I think. The
Oh.
bot, maybe.
I'll fix it.
Susie, what'd you say? All right, I'll deal with it.
It's fixed.
All right, it's dealt with. Thank you.
You guys got everything you need?
Yeah,
Yes.
we do. Thank
Very
you.
good.
I appreciate it very
I'll come
much.
back in a little bit, but I'll leave this one for 2 minutes.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, Eric, have you asked her the standard introvert-extrovert question? Because from Facebook, she looks extroverted.
Okay. So, what's the standard question for extrovert introvert?
How many friends do you go out with?
At one time?
Yeah, like in general, do you prefer 1 or 2 friends or more?
Yeah. No, I don't think you know a lot of people.
Well, I don't see that necessarily as indicative because I prefer going out with one or two people as well. I'm an extrovert. I mean, I might
So
prefer
I'll
a
just
larger
ask
group.
some questions. As an
Yeah, please.
introvert SFJ, maybe you can either relate to these things or not relate to these things. You kind of see?
Please.
So let's say you're at the grocery store and you see coming down like the corner someone you know. Would you try and dodge them, like pretend like you don't see so you don't have to make small talk? Or would you be excited that you're running into someone you know and want to go start a conversation?
Dodge them.
Yeah, same here. Let's see. When you're at like a party and you're going somewhere and you know that you don't know anyone there, are you looking forward to meeting someone new and possibly getting to know someone, or are you hesitant because you might feel awkward and shy?
I'd rather be home.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other like social situations I would find myself in.
Well, what are situations in which you display extroverted, Jewel?
What?
What are some
What?
situations in which you display extroverted, where somebody else might mistake you for an extrovert? Are there any?
Work. Work because I'm putting on a front.
Exactly. Me too.
What else? Maybe if I'm meeting someone new in a small setting. So, like if there's someone new in the group and there's only like a few of us, I want to make them feel welcome and a part of the group. So I'll probably seem more outgoing than I am just to make them feel comfortable.
So would you seem more extroverted in the first couple of dates than you do after you've been with somebody for a few weeks? To them?
That one goes back and forth. It depends on how comfortable I am with the person. So I've had dates where I'm so quiet where it's just like it's so awkward. But then I've had dates where if I feel comfortable around them, then I can open up and seem more extroverted. A lot of the people that I click with immediately are surprised to find out I'm introverted because I could probably, as long as I'm comfortable around that person, I probably can come across very extrovert because I just have an easy time talking to them.
Well, according to theory, it's the same as INTP, ENTP. If you don't know an INTP, they can come off as extroverted when putting in the effort.
Okay. Kimberly, what do you think about all of that? I mean, I understand that you don't really feel comfortable with all the terminology and the jargon, the letters and stuff. Basically, the gist of what they're saying here is that introverts display as extroverts in some contexts and not so much in others. What do you think about that in general? Do it resonate with you? Or?
What Jewel was saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying, do you also you displayed extroverted to me earlier on the dating thing. Do you agree that you displayed more extroverted at the beginning than you do now? Or do you disagree?
No. I think it's the same. You don't think it's the same?
Well,
You carried yourself with more like hustle and bustle, get shit done. Kind of a not just get shit done, but like hustle and bustle, busy lady with stuff going on. You kind of gave me a little bit more of that for display than you have now, which I would say.
I would probably do that too, though, in any relationship. I would probably do that because there's not too much exciting about me being like, hey, I like to sit at home and watch television shows in the evening. Like, you know, like that's not a big draw for potential mates or something. So I probably want to present as like I have more going on initially, then maybe I do.
So nowadays, if you were single, what you probably do is you go out in the world and lead with the fact that you hang out on talking to famous people a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't go out, oh my
Always
God.
a good starter. Yeah.
I think that you're correct though, because other people have said the same thing. Like that I appear to have more going on than what's really going on.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
I don't know.
right.
For some reason, I give out the impression I lead this extremely exciting single life. It's not that at all.
Well, I wasn't talking about that necessarily as.
Well, I'm just saying that's the only description I can think of is that
Well, you know, you've got.
I don't really like to go out.
I'm talking more in terms of ongoing projects, like, you know, you've got your hairdressing, you've got your other job, you've got.
I haven't been doing a lot of that since we've been.
Okay.
Well, is she trying to make the point that the relationship has taken more focus, so she's not as involved in those other things, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I got what you were saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, in the beginning, yeah, because my focus wasn't on you at all.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
I think that would be
I've
regardless.
still heard about that. Before she knew me, she wasn't paying any attention to me at all. Can you believe that?
So
No,
strange.
I understand what she's saying, because whether it's ESFJ or ISFJ, romantic relationships take precedence over things that may have seemed important before. All of a sudden, this other person is the object of your attention, your efforts, your free time, whatever it is, it's now redirected. So where she may have had all of this stuff going on before, that energy has been diverted toward you.
Thank you.
So, is that the sort of thing you might say? Okay. Do you know what your Enneagram type is, Jewel?
I believe it is. At first, I thought it was 614, but more looking into it more, and I've retested. I believe it's 649.
Okay. Well, I think she's a 612 or a 62.
Oh.
I'm sorry, a 261 or a 216.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of that, you guys display some similarities to me. Like, in some ways, she reminds me more of my internet knowledge of you, which is obviously you framed through a more extroverted frame probably than you are in natural life, because there's less sensory data to process in this context, you know?
Yeah.
But in some ways, she reminds me in her verbalizations and stuff more of you, and in some ways more of Candace. And that's why I'm comparing this. I think of you as the textbook ISFJ. I think of Candace as the textbook ESFJ. And I'm trying to figure out where she is, and she's kind of like split in the middle. So
Yeah. She could just be, and also I've taken a couple of the I took a test Taylor had that he does through work, and I've also taken one of those scaled tests, and I score pretty high on FE for an ISFJ. So I think I could also just be higher on the extroverted scale than other
you're an
ISFJs.
FE subtype of an ISFJ.
Yeah. So that can skew it a little bit, but because I have an ISFJ younger sister who is much more introverted than myself, and it's pretty obvious. So what made you kind of begin to? What little things were you seeing that made you think maybe it wasn't ESFJ?
Well, she seemed a little more. I kept trying to understand certain things that occurred through a outcome versus a process framework. But a lot of her behavior seems more consistent with process orientation than with outcome orientation. And obviously, process orientation for an SI dom who's using what I consider an epistemological function about knowledge, the process regarding that is going to be a lot less processy than if it were, say, NE. But the point is, there's still a processy quality to her that is less precise and more flexible than I think of it at the dominance being in a lot of different ways. I have to go smoke a cigarette now. This is good to go. She can bring back any change, okay?
So what do you think when you hear all of this talk? Is it hard to kind of process like all of the
Yeah.
what exactly is going on?
Well, I keep stressing to him that we're only like 2 weeks into this relationship, and he's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just still processing the fact that I'm not single anymore, and he's used to being married, so he has like already a married routine, and I don't at all. And
Yeah.
so trying to understand this, trying to understand his night job, the debate stuff, and also trying to be his new girlfriend and what he calls, I just rolled my eyes, but I'm really not. But life partner.
Uh-huh.
It's all going really fast.
Yes. And you know what? Oh, so I'm married to an INTP, and
Is that what he is?
well, Eric's ENTP, and I'm married to an INTP.
Okay.
So same functions, different order, but as much as ISFJs get a rap for wanting to settle, wanting to be married, want to be in relationships right away, I feel like ENTP, INTPs have us beat, or at least ENTPs do. But it's they want to know definitely what things are. So you're in a relationship or you're not. You're this or you're not, and it can be very sudden, and there's a lot of pressure around it. I found.
So,
Hold
you
on
want me
one
to take
second,
this
Joel.
out?
Yeah, I think, is that enough?
Well, I'm sure, yes.
I don't like glasses, so I can't see
It's
anything.
$29.63. I'll go pay it and bring your change.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
See,
Sorry about that. What?
$29.63 out of 40. I'll be right back.
So, anyways, go ahead.
I was just wondering, did you feel a lot of pressure to make this decision to be in this relationship quickly, as opposed to
No.
having time? No. Oh, okay. Well, that's good then.
No, the pressure is kind of what he expects me to already know.
As far as how to be in a relationship with him.
Just processing this and trying to understand this, and also he wants me to run his debating business and learning that and knowing how to do that, and making sure that I'm also the best girlfriend ever, and that he's fed and his clothes are washed, and it's a lot.
Yeah. He's putting a lot on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mind it. It's just, I'm not used to it.
Right.
He likes things a certain way.
10:37.
Oh, take it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was nice. Thanks. Okay, I'll see you on that one.
How does he react when you express that to him?
Well, he just tells me that I have to think of things in a different way and be more pragmatic about things and more logical about things. And so I say, okay. Just
Oh, really?
try not to argue with him and just let him do things the way he needs to do them, because he's going to do that way anyway.
Oh, I have to let my dog in real quick. I'll be right back.
I think Eric's right.
About what?
that you could be an ISFJ.
Hmm.
Because with introverts, you usually put forward a different side in the beginning.
Is that a bad thing?
No, it's normal. It's because you're introverted and you need to do something to connect with people, right? If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
And when you relax more, you become more your true self.
of course. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but some are more like that than others, and especially introverts.
Yeah, I don't know. So is this good for him or is this bad for him?
It's good for him because, in theory, that's the ideal match.
Mm.
And that's what he wants, just to have the ideal match according to the theory, because that's fun for him to have.
Yeah.
Like he succeeded in some way.
He's wanting you to fit the mold of these preconceived ideas
Yeah,
of what
of
he
course. Yeah,
has. So
and that for me is a lot of pressure.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. It would be a lot of pressure on anyone for sure.
Yeah, but you
Um,
can just ignore all this shit and just do your thing.
I do.
Good.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's my kind of way of setting boundaries and slowing him down a little bit and making him think through some things that he thinks he's already thought through, but you can't think of all of it. So, I ultimately have control over that, and I just try to slow him down a little bit. The ball is in my court. And I like that. But I don't mind eventually, letting him lead at some point, but it's too soon.
But Kimberly, I have a boyfriend. I've been with him for 11 years, and he's same type as Eric.
Wow.
They need someone to steer them in the right direction a lot of the time.
Yeah.
That's never gonna change.
Yeah, but and it's so true. I mean, it is so true. And we do okay in that area. But I'm also stubborn and a little set in my ways. So
And that's a good thing.
I'm very stubborn too. And people don't get that from me right off the bat, not until you really get to know
yeah,
me.
me
And
neither.
it's like
Yeah, me
it's like
neither.
I'm very stubborn, and so it's hard for me to I don't give in very easily to things. So,
No, me neither.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Eric does.
He already had the plan long before he even met you.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but he's amazing.
Aw.
He really is. He's great. We have a lot of fun. He takes really good care of me.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very sweet. Yeah, I've never had anything like what he provides to me. It was I was pleasantly surprised. We had
So
a
what do
little
you
bit of a rocky
enjoy?
start.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of faith to begin with.
No.
Well,
he
it
was-
wasn't the best. It definitely wasn't the best introduction to the relationship with.
It was interesting, but I mean that's what ultimately pulled me in was the whole
Yeah.
this. I had no idea what it was, but I was interested, and so that was really what did it. But when we met, he was different than what I experience now. I was a
In
little
what way?
afraid of him. I was afraid of him.
Aw.
No, but that was why I wanted you to see that video. You remember?
Yeah, he was ornery.
Honor.
Yeah,
I've been
very
all
ornery.
crazy, and then
Now I just look at him and laugh. And he's throwing his fits.
that's what you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
One
He
video
makes me laugh all the time.
Oh, look at him being all lovey.
He is very loving.
So I
Yeah.
could see ISFJ.
Oh, do you didn't hear? Oh, he didn't hear. You got to tell him.
You gotta put that in this.
I'm going to. Okay, he,
She's
he wasn't hearing
ISFJ.
anything.
Yeah, I could see
This is-
ISFJ.
ISFJ.
Really?
Congratulations.
I was trying to think, and I was thinking she was. After a little while. I'm like, that seems to fit awfully well. But, you know, I understand there's a certain amount of wishful thinking involved in that diagnosis, too. So I still retain a grain of skepticism. What makes you guys think so?
It changed.
Yeah, it just
She's different
well,
and she's relaxed.
yeah, she seems more reserved now actually than when first time I had a conversation with her. But yeah, I know just from what we were talking about, I could relate, and I think she could relate to what things I was saying and asking. So
Well, that would explain the lack of relation during the quadruple.
I know that's what it was right there.
That was the problem.
Yeah, but she
Now
was
we have to-
displaying as a ESFJ.
Okay, but it's not the same thing as being an SFJ.
That's true. You have to try again.
Okay. Yeah, we will try this again with another race. We're seeing it Candace. Candace is definitely the SFJ.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be
some of the
fun.
reasons- Yeah, some of the reasons why I think she's, third thing she's are, you know, private things too, but they're the reasons why she's
I'm having trouble hearing you. I don't know if it's the angle you're at or.
There are other non-public reasons why I think she's different than an ESFJ.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right,
She probably
anyway,
doesn't want those talked about, huh?
I don't want to talk about them either. I
Those
just been
eyes
saying
said it
Yeah.
all.
there are non-public reasons that I have to. There's non-public data I have to access that not everybody has.
Yeah, enough now, Eric.
Okay, that's all I was going to say. That's the clarification that he made. All right, we've been at
Well,
norms for too long.
She seems quite smitten, and it's
Well-
very cute.
And it's entirely reciprocal, I can assure you. I'm fully smitten myself and super happy. I'm super happy. So we got to get out of norms though, because we've been here a long time. Okay.
Alrighty.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was cute.
Super cute.
Oh.
I never thought he would have his way.
Oh, I never did. Especially like when they, yeah. I was like, there's
Someone
no
who would
hope.
like it.
Yeah. Same here. I was like, you gotta just scratch this one, try again.
Yep. Oh, but the way he's behaving now, it reminds me of when I first got together with my interview. He also was like that.
Oh, really?
It was super cute.
Aw. Do they keep it up or do they like
Oh,
settle
no.
into more on and off? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Well, that's good.
What do they call it? Infantile romance style.
Mm-hmm. The caregiver and the
No, but just in general, NTP stuff. It's supposed to
is
be
infantile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think you're an infant, Tim?
Hmm.
You want to be taken care of like a little baby?
Not in that way. No, I like to be pretty independent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think INTPs need less than ENTPs do for sure, as far as the
Yeah, I definitely agree. We're happy just sitting in a room thinking. So I don't know. We don't need as much, maybe.
yeah.
We're lower maintenance. Just like slide some food under the door and
I think
make
it
sure
says
that
itself when the INTP needs to be the one to direct things. That
just
should
make
say a lot.
just make sure that there's always an internet connection and we're happy. So what is your INTP like? Does he need
Mine?
a lot of care? Yeah, does yours need a lot of care and attention?
He doesn't need a lot of care, but he needs a lot of attention, which I'm actually surprised by because it seems like a lot of INTPs seem pretty independent, but he likes to have a lot of interaction, like one-on-one interaction. So,
Doing what? What kind of stuff does he
talking.
like?
He always wants to talk. He's super talkative, which
Okay.
like just on a day-to-day basis, I am much less talkative than he is. So, which I would think would be the opposite, but somehow it works out that way. I don't know.
What's he like to talk about?
All types of intuitive stuff. I'm like trying to think in my head, what type of intuitive topic can I even think of right now? Any type of philosophy, religious thing,
Ideas.
politics, ideas. I mean, very like all the stereotypical kind of stuff, which I can do for a short amount of time, and then I'm like, give me a break.
You get bored with it or overwhelmed?
Huh?
Do you get bored with that or overwhelmed by that talk?
So I get bored with it when like time-wise, when it's like been an extensive amount of time, I just get bored. I get overwhelmed when he does that when he's like trying to get into my brain kind of a thing where he's like questioning me. Like, you know what I mean? Like in an INTP kind of way, like, oh, well, prove this thing you just said. Prove this thing you just said. Prove this thing you just, and it's like, and it's making me like process. Like, oh, I just get so exhausted.
Is it like, where
Yeah.
did you get that from?
Huh? Yeah.
Is it-
Yeah. And that one's more difficult for me than just being bored. Because if I just get bored, I could like make a joke or I could switch topics or I could like do something. But the other one's more difficult because I was reading this. He actually found it online, and they're talking about this like cycle between NTPs and SFJ types, where the NTP type will do that. They'll question and like explain this to me, and the SFJ, just because of like mental reserve or whatever, blocks it off, and they're like, no, I don't want to talk about that. The NTP thinks they're hiding something because they don't want to talk, so then they become more aggressive about questioning it, which makes the SFJ even more defensive about not answering, and then it becomes this like big blow up thing over nothing.
You know what? We do that to each other here.
Oh, do you? Yeah, it was interesting, but it was interesting reading that because I'm like, okay, it's not just us. Like this is a thing that happens
Yeah,
apparently.
and even then it's annoying.
Yeah, it really is.
A
Yeah.
lot of times, INTPs will just want to talk about stuff to refine ideas, to
Mhm.
come up with more accurate understanding of things.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So who's
Well,
considering types? You're reconsidering your type, Tim? Or-
well, I'm trying to figure out the ideal type for me.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've been dating a variety of types. Yesterday, I went on a mystery date, and
Ooh.
um, she ended up being an INTJ. I did the troll question on her and everything. And yeah, instantly she knew she was gonna kill the troll and like have the two sides combine forces, and like her intuition and TE were just very apparent.
Hmm.
But it was just like my last ex. It was like
Too cold?
her walls were up. It was like cold type of
Hmm.
relationship, and that's
Yeah,
not what I want.
yeah,
Um, so INTJ is definitely out.
yeah. So what are your other experiences then? What other types have you been on dates with?
And then before that was an ENFP, and that was like
They would
a
be
good,
feely, right? With that kind of.
yeah, like my two closest friends are ENFPs, and it felt like a
Mhm.
friendship. We talked a lot, and the conversation was really smooth, and there was, that feeling stuff there, but it was felt more like a friendship.
Yeah.
And before that, I dated an INTP, and again, it was coldness,
Mhm.
and so I want an NF.
Yeah.
I've refined it down that far. INFJ is definitely
Yeah. I
what
think
I'm.
INFJ would be good. I could see how that would be good for an INTP because you have, you know, the feeling aspect against the thinking aspect, but I love my husband and I'm glad we're together, but there's a lot of intuitive sensor differences, and there's going to be differences in any relationship, obviously, but I sometimes I do feel bad. Like I know I lack the mental stimulation that maybe someone else could offer, if that makes
Mm,
sense. And I
yes.
think if you're I don't agree too, like you have to be careful not to agree too much with that. But it's I think if the INTP or ENTP can find an outlet outside of the relationship to get that, then it's good. But it's only when, like for an INTP, especially if they're very introvert and they're depending on their relationship solely for that, that's when it could be a problem, I think, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, like your husband, like I'm assuming he probably has a work outlet for his intellectual stimulation. Like, does he work in computers or some kind of science?
No, he
To,
actually doesn't. I feel bad for him. He's a beekeeper, which is a very like physical
oh, wow.
manual labor type.
So he is
job.
actually kind of relying on you a lot for
Oh,
his
you know what? That just
intellectual.
makes sense. Like I'm like, Dad, why didn't I think of this earlier? It was just probably why he talks so much when he's around me.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's
that's why
bored.
he needs so much. Yeah, he doesn't get that
He's
most of
bored.
the day.
He should come on here, talk to all the NTs on
I've
here.
I tried to get him before. When I first started coming in here, I came in like twice, 2 or 3 times or something. And I was like, man, I think he would really like the whole intuitive vibe, like the stimulating conversation, all that. And I tried to get him to come on, and he was just not having it. So I think he's missing out, but I don't know.
And for the blankie asking me why not ESFJ, I I'm not considering any SJs. Julie, you're awesome, but um, I'm just not considering any SJs because of the what she just described. like you're
Just the
into
communication
yeah, the
differences.
communication, you're into sensor stuff, and I'm like
Yeah.
I'm totally oblivious to my surroundings, and so like we're in different worlds, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think there's ones that work. I mean, I think there it can. So like UB is an INTP. He has an ESFJ girlfriend. They've been together for years, and he's very happy with her. But um, it's I think with his whole, I think he has like a different approach. You know, he's an INTP that doesn't always display. I think super INTP-ish. You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
So for them, it works. But I could see my sister-in-law is ESFJ, and for a long time, my husband found her to be fairly annoying. And it's only recently that he's begun to kind of appreciate her more ESFJ qualities that she possesses. So I think once you get to know them, you can appreciate them. But I don't know if it's the most natural relationship right off the bat.
it's yes, but also Eric brought up a good point that it depends on what you're looking for. Like if you
Oh, yeah.
like, I'm looking for someone that can share abstract, intellectual, and emotional stuff with, but he says
Mm-hmm.
he gets that from here, and
And he just
what
wants
he
care
wants
taker.
is to get taken care of. I don't want to be taken care of,
Yeah.
so he needs an SFJ to do that for him, and that's his priority. So for him, that works.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be right back.
And Blanky, uh, I don't know about the dual thing that you're talking about. Um, it's my opposite
Yeah.
as of terms of the letters, but I
Theory
don't
is
see the
that you
logic of how I don't see the logic behind how that's be an ideal match. I just don't
the
get it.
logic is that you bring all the things to the relationship. And that's supposedly
I guess it's like perfectly, like it's been perfectly balanced or something.
Yeah, it's like it's supposed to be like you're providing what they're seeking and they're providing what you're seeking. And your strengths are their weaknesses, but weaknesses that they want help with, not the ones that they want to ignore. And the opposite would also be true.
I mean, I agree with
But
it, except for the S and the N thing. I think that one should
yeah.
be kept the same because you're not looking for the intellectual stuff from your husband, and he's probably not looking for the sensor stuff from you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I work with an ENFJ, and we
Mm-hmm.
go great together. Like, uh, uh, I think ENFJ makes more sense than ESFJ for the dual. And yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. It absolutely does boil down to what you're looking for in the relationship. You know. How does that work for you, Susie? Dating another intuitive, like being with another intuitive. Do you find that it's easier to have conversation along the lines of what you want or similar interests and things like that?
yeah, conversation is great.
Mm-hmm.
It just he goes everywhere with the NE, you know, and I can
Yeah.
kind of help him escalate it, so it goes
Mm-hmm.
places. However, none of us are really caretakers. That sucks a bit, but it's worth it.
Yeah. You can just hire like a housekeeper or something.
We should have a maid.
Yeah.
It would remove some stress in arguing who is supposed to take care of shit.
yeah, I think
There you
with
go, Tim. Just hire a maid and date an intuitive.
I'd really like to try dating an ENTP um, to see if that would work like Susie says it does. The NE is fun, you know, like
Mhm. For sure.
I could see how it would be a good match.
Yeah, it's like ENTP start with NE, and you have common history, so you have something you can put fuel to the fire with.
Right.
And if they start to argue, you are the perfect person to swat it when they say something wrong.
I can see how there would be a lot of fun debating, a lot of debates.
Yeah, it's like an argument is not necessarily fun until the ENTP does a mistake, and it becomes fun.
ENTPs make lots of mistakes.
They do. And I also like that if I was with a sensor, he wouldn't understand that I'm smart. Right? Because of the difference in communication, it wouldn't make sense to him, so I would just be the woman or whatever.
You'd just be a quiet woman.
A quiet woman who believes in intuition.
With
You know
their
that thing?
unappreciated, unnoticed intuition.
Mm-hmm. It would be boring as hell. Especially if expected to fulfill the traditional woman's role. I would die. I wouldn't like it at all.
Yeah. Susie's a nice girl, but she just doesn't clean and cook like I thought she would.
What's this? This isn't a woman.
That's nice that you found a relationship where you can like just be yourself. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's the good thing. We can be weird as fuck and nobody cares.
Yeah.
ENTP women are hard to find. I haven't found any yet.
ESTP or ENTP?
ENTP woman.
Oh yeah, they're very rare, aren't they? I mean,
There seems to be more INFJs around, so I think I'll probably end up with one of them there. They seem so good because they've got the feeling stuff, which I like the warmth, but TI is their third slot, so there's still plenty logical, which might be surprising at first, like, and that NI intuition is like mysterious, and so I'll always be trying to figure them out, which an INTP is so curious.
yeah.
They just do it for me.
Well, you'll have to go on a date, and I'll be curious, like, to hear your findings.
I'm on the hunt for the INFJ. I'm looking for her.
So how do you do that? You just go on like dating profiles, and hopefully they have it like listed in their
Well,
profile.
it's most people don't put it, so
Oh.
partly hanging around here and reading about stuff, I've become a detective of typing people, so I have come up like with some heuristics for identifying it. Like NFs usually write really long, wordy profiles,
Mm-hmm.
and SPs and SJs are like, I like yoga and beer and skiing. Hit me up, like so simple, and talking about physical activity stuff, censorship.
Uh-huh.
So they're pretty easy to spot. Like, so yeah, you can narrow it down to their base type, more or less. So that's how I've been doing it. And then when I'm out with them, just do like the troll question and just do how Eric does on the channel, interviewing people and trying to type them.
Do they generally respond good to that?
This last one enjoyed it. Yeah, the troll question's great because it makes it kind of like a game.
I was gonna say, I think I would enjoy it because it's like you feel like the person's actually trying to get to know you on a date. You know, it's not just like a typical like it doesn't feel like an interview like, oh, what do you do? What are your hobbies? What are you know what I mean? It's makes it fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's like a fantasy little game. So she enjoyed it. Um, yeah, that's what's
Well,
up.
you just have to keep trying.
Just it's a numbers game, I guess.
So how
Yeah.
many serious relationships have you been in?
Um, Lots. Let's
Oh,
see.
really?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say like 8.
Wow. Like 8 serious, legit relationships?
Like 8 that lasted over 6 months.
Oh, okay, okay.
Some that lasted over 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I pretty much go from one to the next. This is the
Yeah.
longest I've taken it, like, since my last serious one, it's been like a year and a half. So this is like the only time in my adult life where I've taken that long a time break from being in a serious relationship, and I'm just taking my time this time to really get it right.
Has it been nice?
I've become more comfortable being alone and more independent and less needy and clingy and insecure.
Yeah.
So it's been a good break from it, a good time of development.
Where are you from?
I'm in the state of Washington,
Oh, okay.
Evergreen State. Where are you?
California, Southern California.
Okay, I lived down there briefly.
Oh, yeah?
A lot of family down there, Napa, San Diego.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm like 2 hours from San Diego.
North, so you're like LA area?
No, about 3 hours from. I'm actually like by the Mexican border, kind of.
So you're
So San Diego's to the
Eastern?
east.
You're
San Diego's to the
Eastern?
east.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty
mean, the west. I'm sorry. Oops. San Diego's to the west. Yeah, you were right.
pretty